Hello and welcome as we are entering into day number 15, month number 10 of this year, number 2019. All bets trades of the like are within each his own risk and their own reward. And I've said this so many times. Markets go up, markets go down, yada, yada, yada. It's just how it goes. And of course, I like to trade coins back and forth. This is the one I'd like to have fun with, take whatever chances with. And I'm hoping I get into a position where what would I do in a situation? For example, what would you do if if you got $1 million? And that's like one of those old school questions. Which realistically, answering that in advance is prepping and kind of if you ever get in that situation, not a bad idea. Of course, another way of looking at it. What would you do if you had 120.22 bitcoins? Well, that's valued in around $1 million right now. Same sort of deal. But that's the thing. People don't say what would you do if you had $1.4 million, then 1.6 and 2.2 because well, $2.2 million is about the same as $1 million, if not even worth less than a million. From when I remember saying it as a kid. Anyway, that's like all whatever kind of stuff. So yeah, I was hoping for it to go down here. It did. I was kind of hoping for it to go up here. It did. Now I don't care what it does. I'd rather it come down here first like that. But if it goes straight up, yada yada yada. And against Bitcoin, we have a market that's down a lot and I suppose up a lot. It's up 2.5x, 150% from these lows approximately. And then from the highs, a few hundred times, 300 times or so. Nothing too extraordinary. And that's, or 30 times? So this is 103,000. No, no, not that much. Just 30 times. Yeah. But even if it was down 300 times, I mean, what's the big deal? That's what these cryptos do. That's the whole point of this game is the high volatility that this has. If. And I think this is where it could be heading towards. I'm hoping it gets here damn fast. I really do. Because that would make my move really easy. If it can get from point here to point there, and relatively fast, and hopefully by this point, Go Chain doing less than a 30 or 40% increase in price at the same time, then which is should be probable. Hopefully not, because everything goes up big. But anyway, if it does this, I'll take an aggressive play. Okay, and I'll sell 100% of my sky. Put some of it, probably half or so, into Go Chain, and the other half into Bitcoin. Realizing that when a lot of these rallies happens fast, they're not gonna hold. Even bullishly, they're not gonna hold. Meaning, in a bullish case, we come up to maybe this level of resistance, maybe pull back down somewhere in here, and then later break it on a bullish level. And even still on a bullish level too, especially on the ratio trade aspect, maybe it doesn't have a big pullback. It comes up here, only pulls back to say here, and then does some of this stuff. Well, hopefully the other coin will go up, and technically that would make the ratio work great. So I'll just be like selling here and probably be buying in here because that's when the ratio alerts would be saying, hey, buy Sky for Go because the ratio's down, stuff like that. But I want to get in situations where I can take chances and see how things work. Now, just a quick little side note. I've been talking a lot about fantasy hockey DraftKings, and it just keeps working. I don't know what to say because this is a heavily rated game, and yet I'm continuously cashing over and over and over again. 14 sessions played, 8 cashes, positive, 2 negative, 2 to break even, but these break even in early ones in here because I am staking the rake up higher, or my stake up higher. It'll be at least $11 tomorrow. It'll be the Carolina Hurricanes taking on that of the Los Angeles Kings. And I looked at the board, or I think it's a very good long term game for tomorrow. Uh, with some advanced situations in that game as well that I don't know how much of it I'm going to play. But it's all based on simple mathematics, just going out with an execution of a game plan, finding a situation where you can be an advantaged player, and then going out and giving it a shot. And I'm doing like all of this damn stuff public kind of deal because it's fun to do. And I know it can help people out, so on and so forth. So that's if that happens. If not, I'm just going to always just keep on waiting to the message of the market. I got all of these coins in here that for the day we can see that this sky just since what was it 8 o'clock is up 6%, and well it's like 150% from here, and then 30 some odd x down since way back at the start. Theta's up 4.5% in this time, but it's still only around 1100. I sold some recently for Ethereum Classic on a ratio trade, just maybe an hour or two before. So hopefully the volatility on this stuff like picks up. Let's take a look at how about Bitcoin dominance? I haven't seen that in like a half a day. And maybe it's pretty sad that I say, oh, it's been a half a day. Wow, did it ever break down low in the support? Close the day down 0.62%. I'm not surprised within the way the market action is going. Bitcoin's grinding lower right now in my last check, and I'll show that next. But it's really not doing anything. Hence why I haven't even started showing it. Not much really to go over. Gold and silver was a boring day today, so I was like, man, not showing it. But pure excitation of this, and like I've said so many times, when we come down towards this, okay, the next area I'm looking at is a previous low, and I don't like the chances that it's going to be anything of productive support. Meaning it's going to grind and stay in this area. Maybe we'll go range for a few days between 68 high and well 68 and a third, like in that 50 basis point between 68.2 and 68.8 ish or whatever. Yeah, that's one of the things, but that's not great support either. And then to have a significant leg lower, probably about 67 and a half or another full basis point from where we are now, lower or basis percentage point. It's been extended, of course, for quite some time. And like I've stated, markets go up, markets go down. And now it's like, okay, so it's going to be down, and we could go significantly down on so many levels. You could be going down into here, and this is just like this is a lame ass bearish move down for what it's worth. It's if all this fills, I mean, this is like one of those both bullish and bearish to go down here. Meaning, if it only goes down here and then manages to rally up to and above these highs, then that's why it's just a lame ass move. And then coming down to this previous level. I mean, it could even do better than that, but this is something that could easily happen and, of course, do more. And these moves can happen fast within these crypto markets. Maybe they can grind its way in whatever direction, too. But I wouldn't be surprised again. I say this over and over and over again, but because I've been saying it over and over again, that's another way of saying how long due it is where alternate cryptocurrencies coin have a spectacular move. They started the year off pretty good this year. Um, but as you can see in here, the ratio went from 59 down to 53. That wasn't anything too spectacular either. And maybe it'll never happen, but maybe it will. And like I've stated so many times again, on another point, I'm not here to predict what it is short term. Yeah, it looks like it's going to, so I might as well. If I got the time to do it, I'll try. But whatever happens, whether I predict it's going down or not, I'm going to react to whatever it does to whatever the market price does, because price only pays, and um, understanding the situation as it lies the best you can at the time, well, that's the best you can do. As far as the main Bitcoin against dollar, I got the Bitfinex chart. As if it matters, they're all pretty much the same. And when you have, okay, we have this possible failed breakout, but there's been no signs of, well, either one of two things that I'm looking for. Failure amongst the 18 average of lows. For not only is it not showing any signs of failure, it hasn't even technically touched it. It's just this 4 days and yada, yada, yada. Bedtime. Because it's just not exciting. It's not even attempting to have, okay, so this is the market stating, "Hey guys, I'm gonna revert the trend. I'm gonna go up." Okay, I hear you. Go do what you told me you're gonna do. Well, you're not doing that. I mean, of course, it's just one of those waiting points. It's got to break the range to one side or another. And I'm not going to give it any major credence because it technically did hit the 18 average of highs 2 days ago. And it's been staying closer near it, well, the 18 highs is flat. The 18 lows is barely rising because of the fact the price has stayed above it just for a little while. But overall, it's just not really doing anything. But when you look at it on the single hour term, okay, well, it's doing a lot of stuff. And I mean, there's still decent volatility. And if you want to pick away at stuff like this on a trading level, you have moves like this and moves like that. That looks pretty good. Of course, when I scroll this back, those moves become smaller in comparison to the moves we've seen here from like the 7th up until like the 10th. It's resisted this level of support. Of support. We've supported this level of resistance in here. We're well above this high, or well below this high, and we're well above this low. Okay, neutral. Okay, it's one of those LFI know where we're gonna break it from here. I'm not gonna stop using that saying. I just heard that over the weekend. I thought that was funny, so I've been saying that to a few people as one of those jokes. When you mix like an elephant and a rhino together, you get an elephino. Just a dumb, corny joke, but yeah. So yeah, just all this sideways action reacting from this fact. I've said this for the whole run. It's gonna break it one side to the other, and it's gonna most likely at a high likely rate of probability, 97% probability, 95% likely that when it breaks either support or resistance, fast move to next level. We're talking well over a grand. So breaking 87, getting back into five figures, that's over 1200. And then breaking down below 78 probably means in the low 6,000s, around 63. That's about 1,500. So the range in itself is 87 to like 78. It's only like an 11% range. And that's just awesome to say. It's only an 11% range over its time frame of like, actually, it's not that amazing. It'd be nicer to say a 26% range, really. But anyway, that's just when these things go off, these is in these markets. I'm expecting like to make songs like Aerosmith, "Lovin' an Elevator," just try to find a way to mix a parody to that because these moves are going to be like elevator ride hires. I truly believe in the cryptocurrency markets as well as in both the gold and silver markets. And that's why I'm invested in those assets, of course. But yeah, I expect that to be the case moving forward. And then that's the whole thing about what I'm doing as an investor. That's what my long-term predictions are. That cryptos, mainly Bitcoin and mainly the key other ones, are going to do well. Gold and silver are going to do well. And the altcoins are going to move like the altcoins like to move, all this back and forth. All my ratio trades are going to do what it's going to do, and everything's just going to work out. That's how I got it. So my long-term predictions is that's going to work. If it's right, then it all will. But I don't care short term. If this has its next, if it goes to 63 or if it goes to 10, I realize if it goes to 63, that's just another bump in the road as I look as far as this journey is concerned. And because I'm entirely not sure, well, then I'm going to be doing my smart plays that I consider to be such when it comes time to turn cryptos into precious metals. Then I'll do it. If precious metals go way so high and then turn them into cryptos. Of course, for me, I'm at a stage right now where I'm kind of way too aggressive probably on cryptos than I should be, and I have been ever since, well, really late 2017. Then uh, there's no need for me to turn precious metals into cryptos unless a situation later in time comes work. I'm looking to turn as much of the cryptos into precious metals, but I'm not going to do all of it now. In fact, I haven't done that in a long time. For this is the Bitcoin to gold ratio. And the last that I would have bought this on would have been late June. Would have been up somewhere around in here at this high. I don't think I bought any of it below 7 and no change. July 29th, maybe. I did before this fall in here, which is when Bitcoin fell big. I did make one small purchase, but not for not for precious metals. And I remember when Bitcoin got up to 14K, I just bought, or 13K, I just bought near that high. So it was like June 21st, right around. somewhere in here. Anyway, see, why would I want to buy a lot of gold and silver now when I think short term there's a damn good chance this is going higher? And I've got it all reversed because going up here means that precious metals are overperforming that of the metals. So, or cryptos. So during this down run here, yeah, I was turning Litecoin into silver. June 21st is when I stopped doing all this buying precious metals with cryptos. If I'm wrong about cryptos, then this will go way up. It'll suck. Thankfully, I'll have accumulated the precious metals that I was able to do so. But I'm not going to be selling, I'm not going to be buying unless it goes way, way lower. And in the past, when we've seen with this volatility, well, magnificently large. When you go from 150, this is down in scaling price to like 1.3 up to 19, and just even looking at recent volatility, looking at like a year-to-date kind of chart, we have a 52-week high at 20.85. We have that same 52-week low at about 3 1/3, and we're currently at 10. Can you say volatility? And that's what is so awesome about the cryptocurrency market. But yeah, make big moves going down lower again, which I think is going to happen. When I say short term that they're going to happen, I mean in comparison to super long term, because I believe that the cryptos and precious metals are headed for a very good next run higher coming soon, whether it be starting now or into 2020, 2021. And in such, I would expect these ratios to go lower, where if I got the opportunity, okay, we're going down back to 4, yeah, I'm going to buy more. Oh, 2, yeah, buy more. 1.2, yeah, buy more. 0.7, yeah, buy more. 0.3, buy more, and just so on and so forth until it stops. I don't know how far low it would go on that spot, but if it gets that cheap, then it just gets that easy, really. Because then you look at, oh my goodness, I can buy this much and it only costs me that, or oh my goodness, I can costing me that much can get me, oh my goodness, that much kind of options. Is just a magnificent situation to get yourself into. So that's why I talk about when we prepare for different situations, all that kind of stuff. Well, that's what you got to do. Yeah. So yeah, back in before it was the selling of it in here was totally in play. I stopped doing it roughly around in here. I didn't buy any silver really in this period because it was just too expensive. And then it got pretty cheap or cheaper. Now it's expensive, more expensive. So here, most likely there's a good chance I would be buying a lot more. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.